Only win in their last 6 struggling games came in the 5th round against Brighton. Well, Manchester City go into a massive phase of games with Chelsea in the League Cup final, then in the Champions League quarter-final as well, and they're fighting a losing battle to get into the Champions League next season. Aston Villa are just about fighting a battle to stay in the WSL. They're only just above Crystal Palace at the bottom of the table. Contrasting fortunes for both of these two sides today. Huge names for Manchester City, like Jill Roord there, and of course Yamashita in goal. What do you make of her?
Yeah, I think she's been a great signing for City, and I think she's really important and key to the way they play. So hopefully City will be hoping for her to be very quiet today. Very attacking lineup, Gilly, isn't it, with Viviana Miedema starting? Yeah, I think it needed to be. I think, you know, obviously after the midweek draw, I think City are going to be looking for a lot of goals in this game, and a lot will come through this player right here, and she's going to be keen to their game today. Well, she'll be expected to fire the bullets. Jess Park will be expected to supply one or two of them. Great pace. Yeah, and they'll be looking for a lot of creativity from Jess, potentially out on the wing, well, whether there's a little bit of rotation, she floats inside too. Julie Flaherty with us today, played in 10 FA Cup finals. Manchester City have won 3 of them. Julie was in one of those when they beat West Ham United in 2019. They beat Birmingham in 17 and Everton in 2020. They were runner-up in 22, out in the quarterfinals last season to Tottenham Hotspur. Well, there's the manager of Aston Villa, Natalia Arroyo. It's only his 6th game in charge of what has been a struggling season for them, really. They haven't won in the league in 5 games. They've only won 1 league match away from home all season. 1 match away from home, I should say. That was at Charlton Athletic. Troubling season for a football club that needs more investment at the top level, really, if they are going to compete. Aston Villa, but they do have players who are capable, Gilly, of creating a surprise today. Yeah, and I think this player here, Gabby Nunes, I think she's been key for them this season. She's really good at holding the ball up and bringing other players in, but also that physical side, the tenacious side as well. Interesting to see where she plays and where Ebony Salmon plays in the side. One will be just off the other, you'd imagine. Yeah, and I think they've got that beauty that they're able to rotate and they're able to switch. As long as one player's coming short, there needs to be another player stretching a line, and I think both players will complement each other. They've got good wide players as well. Chastity Grant on one side, and Katie Robinson can play wide on that left-hand side. Yeah, and I think for Katie Robinson, trying to find the form as well that she hit when she was at Brighton. Again, very direct player, loves to run at players as well, and they'll be hoping for a lot from her today. For one that got her into the England side, hasn't yet quite replicated that this season for an Aston Villa side who really have struggled all season long. Off to a decent start, winning away at Chelsea in that surprise, but look where they are in the WSL. Semi-finalists in this in 2022-23 when Chelsea did beat them. They went out on the 4th round last season to Everton 3-0. Manchester City beat them at the same stage in 2021 by 8 goals to nil. Aston Villa. We've already had one game at the quarter-final stage. Manchester United beat Sunderland by 3 goals to 1. Yesterday, Leah Goulton put them on the way in the 7th minute. Then Maya Letizier doubled the lead in stoppage time in the first half. Louise Griffiths pulled one back for Sunderland before Ella Toon wrapped up that victory for the holders 1 minute into stoppage time at the end of the game. Bright sunny day in East Manchester. Good crowd expected here at the Choi Stadium, which holds 7,000, part of this amazing 80-acre training complex. It'd be a little bit nippy if you're in the shade, though. I can tell you the west stand here is open to the wind, and it can blow. So which way is it going to go, Julie? I mean, I think, obviously, the Man City are going to be favourites coming into this game, and I think, obviously, like the manager said, Aston Villa manager said, that there's no pressure on Aston Villa because they are the underdogs coming into this game, and a lot is on City. But I'm hoping for goals, I'm hoping for excitement, and it's the beauty of the FA Cup, the story of the underdog. And Manchester City at the start of this remarkable run of fixtures. After this, they played Chelsea 4 matches in a row between March the 15th and March the 27th. This is a pressurised time for City and manager Gareth Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, it's the business end of the season. Obviously, they've got a lot of games coming up against Chelsea. They're fully aware. They've got the League Cup final as well next weekend. But you take it game by game, and it's a big chance for them to get themselves into the semi-finals of the FA Cup.
Your favourite memory of FA Cup finals? You played in enough of them.
I mean, yeah, and you know what? My favourite memory is actually the one of me losing against Man City, because West Ham, the story of the is the underdog is the FA Cup, and for us, we were the underdogs in that game against Man City.
Players in the tunnel ahead of this FA Cup quarter-final between Manchester City and Aston Villa. Out they come then, behind today's referee. Manchester City start very much as the favourites. And out by Laia Alexandri, the Spanish international. Beautiful day for it. Not the biggest crowd. Lots of football at this stage of the season. There's Bunny Shaw back in the starting lineup. 18 goals this season, netted against Leicester City in the last round, the 3-1 when they beat Ipswich before that by 3-0. And the players will shake the hands of the opponents. Nerves amongst the Aston Villa players?
I wouldn't say so. I feel like they're used to playing against Man City. Obviously, it's not like it's a foreign team. It's a team that they're used to playing against, but it is a great opportunity for them to get into the semi-final.
Well, let's have a look at this really attacking Manchester City lineup with Bunny Shaw and Miedemar restored to the starting lineup, as we've been saying, with their 26 goals. The other change from the midweek WSL disappointing draw at West Ham sees Laia Uwabi, who came off the bench in that game, preferred to Beanreuter, with Kasparov switching sides to her favoured right back. We think 7 of that team, Gilly, are ever present in the cup run. We think they're going to line up like that, don't we?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say they'll probably line up in that way. Obviously, Wuhabi as well going on to the left side, Kasparov on the right side. But again, you're just looking at that attacking power that team has. There's so much in abundance, and they're going to hope that it comes off today.
Not even mentioned Mary Fowler, who's having her best scoring season for the club. Big surprise in that Villa lineup, with Rachel Daly, who's scored in both rounds so far, left out, only on bench, with Ebony Salmon preferred among their 4 changes from the WSL defeat by Everton last time out. Lucy Park has chosen ahead of Dan Turner at centre-half, Paola Tomas to Noel Moretz at full-back. Gabby Nunes, who scored a hat-trick against Bristol Rovers in the 4th round, replaces Jordan Nobbs. We think she'll just play off Salmon?
Yeah, I think there might be a potential for rotation there with Nunes and Salmon, but again, I think both players will be able to complement each other.
They'll have to be at their very, very best to stop Gareth Taylor's team advancing to the last 154 games he's been in charge of Manchester City, with a 72% win rate, and you compare that to just the 5 games in charge for Natalie Arroyo, the Aston Villa coach. He was a decent player in her time as a young player. I remember her winning the league title as a teenager at Barcelona. She retired though by the age of 22, but she was a good coach at Real Sociedad. 2 captains meeting, and we're nearly ready to go. Captain of Aston Villa, by the way, is Chill Beijings. Dean Whitestone, the referee there. Khadija Bunny Shaw, 90 goals in 102 games for Manchester City. Not bad at all. Referee's just checking with the assistants, and everyone is in place. There's Ebony Salmon. It's had to be patient with her starts, Ebony Salmon, only 7 in all. Gabi Nunes, the Brazilian international, came in the September from Levante as the players take the knee in the continued battle against racism. Women's footballers in the UK always do that, always take the knee. Don't see it in the men's game too often anymore. And on Dean Whitestone's whistle,
we are off and underway with Manchester City in the sky blue and the darker shorts kicking from left to right against Aston Villa, all in the claret and blue. What a goal scorer she is, Chile.
Yeah, I think she's huge for this team, and I think, you know, City have had to deal with last season, towards the end of the season when she was injured, you know, having to play without Bunny Shaw and trying to adapt. But you notice it as soon as she's back in the team, how confident they look going forward and how much they rely on her, not just for headed goals, but, you know, goals for her left foot, goals for her right foot, and she's become a lot more clinical as well.
To clear it away. Paula Tomas, another player who came in from Spanish football and Levante. Emily Salmon, 24 years of age. Had that spell out in the USA, as players will want to do at the time. Not such an attractive notion these days. And a free kick given against Kerstin Kasperaj. You're bustling sort of a player, isn't she, Ebony Salmon?
Yeah, I remember coming up against Salmon, you know, she's such a direct runner and she never stops going, and, you know, she's got a lot of pace, and especially I was thinking towards the end of my career having to come up against her, it was never easy, but it's just obviously good, I think, for the English game as well to see her playing.
She started on the left-ish with Gabi Nunes through the middle, and they do have pace on the other side as well. Chelsea Grant just closing down there now. Manchester City will build patiently. Still missing one or two key players, Manchester City. Lauren Hemp at the moment out injured. No, Alex Greenwood out injured, both long term after operations. England will be hoping they'll be back for the Lionesses in the European Championship finals. Uwabi plays inside, Miedemar. Alexandri, the captain. Kasperaj. There's Jess Park, who has started on the right as we thought she would. Jill Roord. Got some goals in this team, Manchester City. It's remarkable, really. Uwabi with the cross in, tempting, teasing. Just came off the back of the defender, Tomas it was. Ryan teasing cross, and Sabrina D'Angelo stayed at home, didn't come out for it. Uwabi and Fowler will combine well on that far side. Mary Fowler's been in good form. Miedemar, Uwabi. Fowler made a little run forward, just to open up a little bit of a gap. Manchester City dictating the play and possession as we thought they would earlier on. Here's Kasperaj, Dutch international. Got the best of balls inside to Roord, and it was cleared away.
Yeah, it did look like there was a lot of space that opened up then for the ball to be fed through to Bunny Shaw, but I think Kasperaj kills herself a little bit by taking that extra touch, so the gap closes and she wasn't able to make the pass.
That's Bright. Gets the return, neatly played to her by Park. It's an opportunity for Jill Roord. Park with the cross, comes out to Kerstin Kasperaj. All the early play inside the Aston Villa defensive third. Macy Pryor. Alexandri. Back to Pryor. England under 19 international. Bunny Shaw. Now Fowler. First save of the game for Sabrina D'Angelo in that Aston Villa goal.
Yeah, I think that's a tame shot there from Fowler. Obviously, City working it from one side to the other side, then coming back across again. But great Shaw there, a turn there from Bunny Shaw, and plays it out to Fowler. You can see she's just trying to get it out of her feet, but Malin probably gets just close enough that she isn't really able to generate enough power on it.
Big season for D'Angelo in that Aston Villa goal. She got very few opportunities at Arsenal. Very much the first choice league ever present for Villa this season, the Canadian international from Ontario. Here's Alexandric. And Gracie Pryor came through the youth team ranks at Manchester City. Played in the draw away at Aston, at West Ham in the week. Disappointing result that for them, wasn't it, really, at your old club?
Yeah, I think it is a disappointment. It's 2 huge points that were dropped, you know, and I think obviously with Chelsea drawing as well on the weekend, it was a great chance for them to make up some numbers, but wasn't able to capitalise on it.
And above them, Arsenal and Manchester United in the table have a game in hand on 4th place Manchester City. Top 3 go into the Champions League now. Here's Fowler. Miedemar. Wabi. Looks for Miedemar, but it's blocked back there by Sarah Malin. Simply keeps coming back on the Aston Villa defence. Can't get hold of the ball, Villa. Park. Lovely to see her development over the last couple of years. Jess Park growing in confidence. She always wants the ball as well. She made herself available then. Here's Pryor and Alexandric. Hasegawa held on to it, as she often does. Very difficult to shrug off it. One of the world's best players, Yui Hasegawa, in midfield. Nominated for the Ballon d'Or. He's Fowler. From Miedemar, strength there. Bunny Shaw pulled back into a position to receive. A little bit tight it was though. Miedemar crowded out there. What should they have done better there, Gilly?
I mean, it's hard because there's so many numbers in and around that box, and I know Bunny Shaw wanted the cut back there, but the bodies that Aston Villa had in there as well, it's always going to be difficult. You know, Miedemar here does really well with her strength there, but you've got 4 defenders against City's probably 2 really that are in a decent position, so it's hard to really pinpoint someone out there.
Had 9 outfield players back in the box there, Villa altogether. Kasparak. Same route. Park on the right hand side. The roll of the boot over the ball. Once again, it'll start with Gracie Pryor. Only signed pro in August of 2024. Alexandri, one of the 15 who famously chose not to go to the World Cup finals with Spain in protest. Well, it's a dangerous ball in, looking for Bunny Shaw, and well collected by Sabrina D'Angelo.
And that was a really good idea there from Park, because, you know, it's hard when a team's sitting in the block. It's about once you get past it. Here, Park whipping that ball in early. Potential there, obviously, for the offside, but the early ball in behind Aston Villa's defence. You know what Bunny Shaw's going to be doing. She's going to be stretching that line, and obviously D'Angelo comes out very bravely there as well to claim it.
No VAR, of course. Something that I think women's football really needs to address.
I also think as well, the amount of money that's been put into the women's game now, you know, those decisions which can cost clubs from potentially missing out on going forward in competitions or dropping points. You know, I think the call for VAR will be even more increasingly loud, especially as the seasons go on.
Massive developments. FIFA now have the planned Women's World Club Cup and the Women's World Club Championship. Here's Bunny Shaw. That's so close, so close. Lovely turn inside the penalty area to create the half a yard of space. You'd expect her to score from there.
Yeah, and I think this first touch here, you just see it, seems like it's going away. She's managing to control it. She cuts inside past a couple of players. I mean, at first it looked like it was in and it was bouncing back out the net, but just sneaks past the post there. Huge chance for City.
It's her 199th career club game. She scored 175 goals in that time. Been at the USA for a long while. Good look for Ebony Salmon. Pace of the ball will beat her. Kasparai's throw. That's it, Pryor. Bounced away off Khadija Shaw. Here's Anna Patton, one of the centre-backs. Was in the England squad a couple of times, Irish international now. And there's her centre-back partner, Lucy Parker. Then against Brighton earlier on in the competition. That was a really good win for them. Taylor pushed it back then to Anna Patton. Mailing out wide to the right-hand side. Angled into Grant, and she's got the free kick.
And I think today, especially with the way City are playing and they've had most of the possession, I think set pieces are a great opportunity for Aston Villa to put the ball into Man City's box. Are you seeing there the turn, you know, and Pryor comes in late there, but it's a great opportunity for Aston Villa, especially if you don't have a lot of possession.
Having a little word there with Jill Baetjens, the captain. The Dutch international signed on loan from Bayern Munich. She missed the start of the season. She didn't play until January because of an injury. Baetjens wearing 22, Mailing. Hits it though. And it's gone all the way through. Lucy Parker may keep it in. No, she can't.
Bit disappointing there from Aston Villa. You're unsure whether that's a training ground set piece, but obviously just saying beforehand how important it will be for them for set pieces today to get the ball into City box, and obviously just that one's just overrun and gone out of play.
You wonder just how busy Ayaka Yamashita will be in that Manchester City goal. Played their last 5 games, played in both of the cup rounds so far. Won the cup 5 times in Japan. Made him up. Started seeing her dropping deeper in her latter Arsenal days into a sort of 10 role, Miedema, as opposed to a centre forward.
Yeah, I think obviously she naturally started off as a centre forward, but then dropped a bit more deeper. I think she wanted to get on the ball a lot and just wanted, she's a player that wants to get on the ball majority of the time and wants to create a lot of stuff. So, teams will probably be hoping for if they could have 2 or 3 Miedema's, so they're able to fill those positions. But obviously, again, I think she's just a player that wants to get on the ball and wants to create stuff and be a part of it.
Turned 28 in the summer, blighted by knee problems in the last couple of years. Misplaced pass by Pryor initially, now here's Jill Roord. Such a fine player. Dutch international. Naila Uabi. And Miedema has Roord to the right-hand side, bypasses her, comes all the way out to the fleet-footed Jess Park. Skips to the byline, Pulls the cross in. Little deflection there, so it's a decent stop in the end by D'Angelo.
I think it's really hard as well, though. You see there when Park gets to the byline, the amount of Aston Villa players that are in and around that near post, just looking at it there, it's so difficult. It's going to be so hard to pick someone out there. You're probably trying to avoid that space and trying to get a late runner coming in at the edge of the box.
Deflected off pattern very late on. The goalkeeper made a smartish save. Here's Gilroy, part of the Dutch European Championship winning side in 2017. She's a good player as a junior as well. She won the Euro under-19 title back in the day. Here's Kasparek. Alexandri started the One Cup tie against Leicester, played in them both, 88% possession. Look at that, Gilly.
I think that's incredible, and I think, you know, you've seen the way the game started with Man City. When a team like Aston Villa are going to potentially sit off in a low block, you have to move the ball quickly to get past them because they've got too many bodies and too many numbers in and around it.
Gilroy. Wabi. Fowler again hugging the line, making the pitch big on that side. Cross looks for Bunny Shaw. Acrobatic punch away from D'Angelo. Yeah, absolutely bossing the ball. Sagawa wants it back again. Had a spell at Gilly's old club, West Ham United. Sagawa, what a fine player. She's always been a really top-class act, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, she was brilliant to play with because, again, very similar to Ji So-yeon, is she always wants the ball. And as a centre-back in a team, and you know that you always have that centre-mid wanting the ball, it makes your life a lot more easier. But, again, she's been flourishing since she come to Man City, and she was deserving as well of playing for a top team.
Always puts in a strong performance. That's why she's played 47 league games in a row. On the ball again. Now Fowler, Miedema's ahead of her, Shaw's in the middle, goes up through the gears, gets the cross in, just breezed beyond Robinson. There's a tough job out there. And the shot with Miedema flashes wide.
I wonder today as well if we'll see plenty more of those shots from distance, because I think the way Aston Villa are setting up and they're dropping so deep and they're making it really hard when the crosses are coming in. Will players like Miedema, like Rord, be picking the ball up edge of the box and trying to have the shots from the long range?
That was the acrobatic, theatrical save by the Canadian international. Recently played for them against China.
Let's go! Look! Close your mouths!
Fowler for Manchester City. Has to be settled here today for a place in the last four. Kasparek is available for Gracie Pryor. They are determined to make the pitch big. I just wonder if they could be moving the ball a little bit quicker.
I think you have to. I think when a team's sitting off you in a low block, you have to move the ball quicker, and you have to try and commit one of those players. If you can't, then moving the ball quickly will get you around the setup, especially if they are sitting in a deep block.
Good pressure on Pryor there, right at the end, to stop her playing out from Gabi Nunes. Turns 28 tomorrow. So she's come out to the left-hand side now, and Ebony Salmon's gone through the middle. That's what we thought she would start the game, and that's how it's panned out. And Nunes on one side and Grant on the other. And Robinson almost doubling up as another right wing-back. Cross comes in from that left-hand side. Again, safe hands from Sabrina D'Angelo, who started the game very neatly.
Yeah, she's been brave a couple of times now for Aston Villa. you know, coming out, and I think you have to claim it there as well, but it just makes it so much easier for defenders when you know you got your goalkeeper who's willing to be on the front foot. Nice lad, cool as well, and he's able to claim it.
Grant. Robinson had made the forward burst. And here's Paula Tomas. Salmon. Crossed straight at Iaki Yamashita. They've got to make the most of those opportunities, and it was a half chance.
Yeah, they have to, especially Salmon. She just seems to sort of skip past Kasper as well with ease, and it's just here. Obviously, I know she's on her left foot, but you're just putting it straight into the goalkeeper's arms. You have to work the City defenders. You have to work the goalkeeper too, when you know your chances are going to be limited this afternoon.
20 minutes have gone. Yamashita, 77 Japanese internationals, World Cup appearances in 2019 and 23 for her. So much experience in this Manchester City side at the top level. Buddy Shaw did well. Wabi will look to get the cross in, dinked it in, stabbed away at the back. It was Beijing's back there, it was defending the captain, filling in. Only had the one season at Bayern Munich, won the league title in Germany. Fowler. Here's Hasegawa. Lots for Manchester City, starting with Gracie Pryor. Hasegawa. And now Jess Park. No intense pressure in this sort of middle third. They're defending very low. The low block. Here's Pryor. And it's working, it's frustrating Manchester City.
It is, and I mean, I don't think this helps as well either, though, Jonathan. Just standing on the ball, you're not necessarily moving anyone.
They find Bunny Shaw now. Waits for support. Rubbed a little bit sluggishly, a little bit late. Eventually cleared away. Picked up by Parker. Can't afford to make any single defensive mistake, Villa, today. Manchester City will punish them. Hasegawa looks so cool on the ball there, turning in a tight area.
And I was just saying as well that won't help, but Kasper had to stand still. But from a Villa defender's point of view, there's no way you should be allowing Bunny Shaw to get in there.
Fowler. Too far ahead of Miedemar. And here's Grant. And a pattern. Dug out in the middle, but Jill Beijing couldn't hold it up. And here's Jill Roord, her compatriot. Still very much part of the Dutch national side is Roord. Beijing's less so. Laila Huabi from Mataró in Catalonia. And Viviana Miedemar!
I think that's what we spoke about when we said about the long-range distance shots. Again, Miedemar there, eyeing it up. She's got all the time and space as well to do that, but here she just does really well. They're patient. She pops off her mailing and just spins her there. You know she's got one thing on her mind, and that's to have a strike from distance. And again, I'm not too sure how far away she was, but far too easy there from Mailing to just allow her to turn. And it might be something like that today, an opportunity like that, which is going to break the deadlock for City.
When we talk about Shaw's goal-scoring exploits, Miedemar for clubs and country has 364 goals, so you're talking nearly 600 goals between the pair of them in their career. She in her day was a defender, the Aston Villa coach. Here's Paula Tomas. Defensively, they're doing commendably well. Surely that's offside, you'd have thought, against Ebony Salmon. The flag has stayed down. Naked eye, I thought she was a yard offside, perhaps. That's great. Seems to have got a chance here. We get the cross in. Scrambled away. Hasegawa got the last touch on it. Right shot blocked there. That was painful. Hit Gracie Pryor. Really enthusiastic and loud travelling bunch of Villa fans. Be some surprise if they can pull something off here today. Anna Patton goes long, looks for Katie Robinson. Nice spiraling cross. Kasparov misjudged it. Now gets it away. Lovely sunny afternoon. We've had a lovely spell of weather in the UK recently, but wherever you are in the world, don't be envious, because the cold snap is coming back, they tell us. Oh, she's onside there. Three goals this season. Who came back to English football from Houston Dash. She started at the Villa, went away to Manchester United initially. Here's Pryor. And Alexandri. Captain steered a good ball forward to meet him up. Fowler showed a little bit too much of it initially to Mailing, who didn't close, so the cross comes in. That wouldn't please you as a centre-half, seeing a full-back allow a cross come in, would it?
No, it wouldn't, and I think that's what I think with Aston Villa as well, especially in this first spell in the game, is really, it's okay if you want to sit in that block, but eventually you're going to have to go and put pressure on the player to stop them from getting the crosses in, which they have probably found it a little bit too easy as well, Man City.
Robust challenge that leaves Gabi Nunes on the ground. Very successful in South American football. She won the Copa Libertadores with Corinthians. Here's Jordan Nobbs and Rachel Daly only on the bench. Can't quite get over that one, I have to admit. Tomas. Salmon did well under pressure. Tomas. Three Manchester City players on her. Now here's Bonnie Shaw, and Park will settle for that. 28 minutes gone, no goals. How do you think the reason, apart from fitting Gabi Nunes and Ebony Salmon in, what can it be the other reason for leaving Rachel Daly out?
I'm not too sure, to be honest, Jonathan, and I don't know whether it's mainly because they want to be more of a sitting team and they know Rachel Daly, she will press and she will keep going, and could it be potentially that she's someone that you're going to bring on if you're trying to hold out for 0-0 for as long as possible, and then you're bringing her on to then try and press players and chase players down? Would that have been an option later on in the second half?
Well, she's certainly got the pedigree, hasn't she? Jordan Nobbs as well. Huge experience, and of winning this competition. She's 4 times an FA Cup winner. To the left of Rachel Daly as we saw them in the dugout. Rachel Daly won the Cup in the United States of America with the Houston Dash. Now this is picked up. I roared. We went to a right-hand side. Again, was just too ponderous in possession. A little bit too slow, everything at the moment. Strong run here now by Aston Villa and Chastity Grant. Approaching the half-hour mark. The pattern of the game really hasn't changed much.
Desperai plays forward to Jess Park. Donny Shaw being closely marked by Lucy Parker. But there's precious little movement and precious little pace about this build-up. Roared. Jess Park. 7 Villa players behind the ball. Here's Bunny Shaw. Did well to get the cross in. Steered away at the back, but comes out to Park once again. Marie Taylor got the clearance away. Jill Roard. Fowler. Dangerous cross, away by Thomas. Held up by Gaby Nunes. Thomas had to reach for that salmon. Awkward ball to deal with for her captain Jill Beijings. Roared. Too high the ball there for Mary Fowler, which may speak of frustration with the way things are going.
Yeah, well, you're just looking there when Jill Ward's picking up the ball. She's got probably about 7 Aston Villa players in and around her, and there's only 2 or 3 Man City players that are central. You can see what she's trying to do in the switch to the opposite side to Mary Fowler, but obviously it's just that quality as well. When City are going forward, it can be creeping a little bit of the frustration to try and move the ball quickly, but obviously just got to take care of it. But I think City are just struggling because there's so many Aston Villa players defending.
Hasegawa. Kirsten Kasperite made herself available, and also that run opened up a gap for Park, and I think she expected Jill Roard to continue her run.
Yeah, I think she looks initially for Roard to make that run. She doesn't, and then I think she comes inside and takes another touch, then hopes that Bunny Shaw's going to make the run, but it's just overhit. It's so tight. It's so hard to make those passes.
And quickly closing on Miedemar as well. That's going to feature Miri Taylor and Jill Beijings at the heart of the midfield. Robinson helping out on the right-hand side. Here's Fowler. Seems to have been around forever and a day. Mary Fowler, what is she? Still only 22. And only just, I think she turned 22 last month. You can hear the... That's the Aston Villa coach. That's a lovely little touch-off chance here then. And the shot was too near the goalkeeper. But she'll get into those positions all day long, Jill Roard, when she can.
Yeah, it's beautiful link-up play. And I think the pass, obviously there into Miedemar, nice little touch there. It's just similar as well to a chance they had earlier on, but they're just not able to generate really the power. Roard there, she's sort of already on her way down, not able to get the composure to really have a strike at it.
Another with a bundle of career goals, 191 for clubs and country, Jill Roard. No goals, 33 minutes gone. Only the one attempt on target so far, which was Mary Fowler with the easy save. Now there's an opportunity if they can get to the ball and play it on, and an opportunity here then for Ebony Salmon. Oh, it's a fine save. Well, they've waited and waited and waited for the moment to come, and that was the moment. And it's a fine piece of goalkeeping.
It was a huge save, and I also think it's so difficult for a goalkeeper when they've not necessarily been involved. They have to stay switched on here, but you're looking at Aston Villa, they broke with pace. Ebony Salmon down the middle, she's got the pace there. I mean, it's a huge save, but you'd be hoping there for Salmon to put it either side of the goalkeeper. It's pretty central.
Big save by Yamashita. Strong hand, pushed it up and over. Powerfully driven by Salmon. And Aston Villa have their first corner. It's in low, away by Hasegawa. Miri Taylor. Space here on the left-hand side. Offside though. against Lucy Parker up from the back.
We're just able to see it recycled there. I mean, she's clearly offside. That can sometimes happen though when a defender gets caught up, you know, staying up high into the box. They don't necessarily look along the line there.
Another with a West Ham connection, Lucy Parker.
Yeah, played with Lucy at West Ham. You know, and I've been really impressed with her this season as well, because, you know, she had an injury last year that made her be out for a little bit, and she's just a player that loves the physical battles, loves to come up against those players. See her against Chelsea, up against Ramirez. She loved it, and I think she'll be loving the battle with Shaw today too.
Ankle injury last season restricted her just to 9 games. It's almost like her Villa career has started this campaign. Fowler nicked that away. Shaw, good combination with Miedemar. Chance here for Manchester City to open the scoring. And that was a careless pass from a player of her ability. Looking for Jess Park, but it was easily cleared away. Paula Tomas, those 4 seasons at Levante. A rarity actually in women's football this season, or any season, Paula Tomas. She got a red card. You don't often see red cards in women's football. You very rarely see simulation. A little bit more creeping into the game these days with the pressure that's now involved. That's a lovely ball looking for Robinson, and just about cleared away by Laila Ouahabi. Seemed to get her feet wrong, but she got her feet absolutely right in the end. And she's here now for the overlap. Ouahabi pulls it back. Park lays it off. Miedemar couldn't get the shot away. Park has it. Kasparai's in the wide position. In comes, of course, look at the claret shirts back in there. Fowler back to goal, Miedemar. And Ouahabi makes herself available. 8 minutes left in the half plus stoppage time. Don't think there'll be a lot of that. And that's decent from Sarah Mailing in guarding the ball out. And Ebony Salmon's chance was the best chance of the game.
I mean, it is a huge chance for Aston Villa there. She's running through. I mean, it's a big save there. Goalkeeper stays up for as long as she possibly can. It's a big connection, but you'd be expecting Salmon as well there to put it either side of her, not just trying to strike the ball down the middle.
Went for power. If she'd placed it with a sort of past finish either side, it would have been in. Just going to Kasparai. Angles the ball away wide for Jess Park. Only missed a couple of games in a really decent season. Jules only missed 1 league game. Manchester City unbeaten in 5 in all. But they have had the hiccups. Beaten here by Arsenal 4-3. At the start of this run they're now on. Beaten at home by Manchester United 4-2, beaten away in the Champions League at Barcelona. Surprisingly beaten at Everton. They won the home league game against Aston Villa 2-1 and away recently 4-2. Happy with the run to the dead ball line, and that's a corner. Came off Sarah Mailing.
That's also come from as well to Aston Villa just not clearing their lines at all. You know, turning the ball over when Man City players are still high. And I think it's helped Man City with Ouahabi the last couple of minutes. She's really been pushing forward and able to add an extra body.
Good run by the Spanish international, wasn't it? She was one of the 15 who didn't go for the World Cup, Ouahabi, but she's back in the fold now, played in the recent games against England and Belgium. big danger here at the far post area unless it's defended properly. Shaw coming out, who's overhit anyway. Gosh, how disappointing will that be for Gareth Taylor and his coaching staff. Well, amongst the Aston Villa coaching staff, a Manchester City goal-scoring legend, Sean Goater. What a remarkable career he had. 10 clubs, 22 years, Manchester City cult hero. And in his 567 league game career, he scored 221 goals. And in the game of football where you often hear criticism and there's a fair amount of backbiting that goes on, Julie, you'll know that, you never ever hear a bad word about Sean Goater, you know, from anyone.
No, and I think even when speaking to a couple of the players, you know, when he was there as interim, you know, he gave them that confidence as well to get playing and to really believe in themselves.
Fowler into Rord. Bonnie Shaw made it hers. Kasperite releases to Jess Park. It's going to run away from her. Still relatively inexperienced as a manager, the 38-year-old from the Catalan region. Tomas with the throw, dropping very deep was Gabi Nunes. Ball was aimed at Grant with her pace and she's dragged down by Pryor. Whitestone keeping his cards in his pocket at the moment. Everywhere in the black armband, as are all the players today, in memory of 10-year-old Poppy Atkinson, who was tragically killed when she was struck by a car while she was attending a training session at a rugby club. Really awful story, that. You might have seen the fans actually applauding after 10 minutes to mark their respect too. Still only 20, Gracie Pryor. England under-19 international. Can she step up?
Yeah, I think so. And I think, listen, I remember when I started at Arsenal and I only got my opportunity because everyone that was in front of me was, as a defender, was injured. You know, and some young players, they need that opportunity. For me, I don't even think that was a foul. I thought that was a great tackle. I think she won the ball. I don't think it was dangerous at all. But again, players like these young players, they need to be given the opportunity. And obviously, Gareth has trusted her today with a start.
It's only her 29th ever first team game. She's been out on loan a couple of times to Brighouse and to Burnley. Gareth Taylor, former striker himself, 15 clubs over his 20-year playing career, including Manchester City. Won promotion from Division 2 all the way, from Division 2 as it was, all the way up to the Premier. Played at Wembley. I think should be okay. Cut off socks. Goodness me, what's the game coming to?
Not old school like me with the long socks pulled up.
Short sleeves though.
Always short sleeves.
Come the rain, the hail and the snow.
And no gloves.
Hit long. Pumped long, hopefully by Jill Bajings, but easily collected by Yamashita. Last minute of the half, with that injury we've just had, and one or two other things, I would guesstimate we'll have 2 minutes, maybe 3. Don't know yet, we'll wait and see. Fowler Loses possession. Here's Robinson for Aston Villa. He wanted it played earlier than that. Has another chance. Gabi Nunes is through the middle. Just behind her is Sam, out wide is Grant. Came to nothing. Can't fault their game plan. You can fault the fact that the one or two chances have come their way, they haven't taken them.
Yeah, I think you can see the way that Aston Villa have tried to set up, you know, frustrate City, be in that low block, make it hard for them when they do get into the final third. But again, it's about when you do have possession, you have to look after it. You can't give it straight back to City. And then when you do get your chances, you've got to make the most of them.
2 minutes of stoppage time. Manchester City can get her on the ball and move the ball quicker in the second half. They could find a way through Yui Hasegawa. Rather a sleepy Sunday lunchtime atmosphere in the sunshine in Manchester. Miedema got there first. Allowed to get into the penalty area and pull it back. Bit of a misunderstanding there. Hasegawa picks it up again. And wide for Jess Park. Gets the cross in. Dangerous. Partially cleared away. Comes out to Hasegawa. And launch clear. Touch was missing there. Has been from several players several times.
I didn't know as well there if Hasegawa was going to just take the strike first time, but I think the pace of the ball was coming back, and she tried to take that touch to settle herself and then ended up spinning away from her as well. Obviously, Jess Park here, you want Thomas to get closer. Don't allow the cross to come in at all. But here, I think it's just where he's spinning. Hasegawa isn't able to get the strike on.
Lorna Nobbs and Rachel Daly. Hugely experienced England internationals watching from the bench. Daly, we think, will have an impact in the second half, but the first half comes to an end with no goals. Manchester City have had 3 or 4 good moments. Keeper's made 3 saves. At the other end, Emily Salmon had the best chance of the game with the shot that was pushed over the bar by Ayaka Yamashita. But at half-time, it's Manchester City 0, Aston Villa 0. Welcome back to the Joy Stadium. Outcome Manchester City for the second half. 0-0 with Aston Villa. Very few people would have projected this scoreline on the back of Manchester City's couple of WSL victories over the Villa already this season with an aggregate score of 6-3. But Aston Villa, Gilly Flaherty, have defended resolutely. They've defended very deep. She's laid a team out very, very well, Natalia Arroyo. And Manchester City are having a frustrating afternoon.
Yeah, I think that was Aston Villa's game plan. You know, you frustrate Man City. You're probably going to expect that you're not going to have a lot of the ball, you know, and it's about defending really compact as a unit and as a team and making it really hard for them. But City haven't been able to capitalise on that.
Going to go all the way to extra time and penalties. We haven't had an extra time game since round 3, and we haven't had a penalty shootout in the competition since the second round. It'll be Aston Villa who kick us off and underway in the second half then, with Marie Taylor getting the first touch of the ball. And here we go, with Aston Villa kicking from left to right in the claret shirts with the white sleeves, or the light blue sleeves I should say, and Manchester City in the light blue and darker blue shorts. Steered inside by Paula Thomas, off by Taylor. Here's Lucy Parker to Anna Patton, and an early fill for Sabrina D'Angelo in that Villa goal. Will they be a little bit more adventurous in this second half? Will they come out to play? Or will they still be cagey, sit deep, try and hold Manchester City in counter? Here's Fowler. Into Miedema, back to Fowler. Scampered to get to the turn, then checks back. Miedema. Crowd of players there, and it's blocked. Look at the number of claret shirts back. She checked back instead of getting the early crossing.
I think the reason she checked back back though is I think she does look, and I think where Miedemar ends up doing the 1-2 here, you've only really got Park. I mean, I think in my eyes, I think Parker's playing her on there, but you've only really got Park at the back post. I think that's why she checks back. Obviously, Miedemar trying to do the cut on her left foot, but there's so many bodies in and around there, so hard.
8 defenders back for Aston Villa in that packed penalty area. But Manchester City do get the corner. And Miedemar, with those 6 goals in the last game, 8 games, is sharp. Over a limp there for Sarah Maley, who got the block in. 2nd minute of the second half. Comfortable save, largely unopposed for Sabrina D'Angelo.
That's what's disappointing about this one, really. She's not even being tested there by any Man City players at all. It's a comfortable catch for her.
And she's not the tallest, Sabrina D'Angelo, 5'8". Manchester City would have had a height advantage in that with 1 or 2 players. Jill Rorder's taller, Miedemar's a taller player. Shaw, of course, a 6-footer, one of the tallest in the league. And the place is a little bit sluggish for Manchester City. Here's Jill Rord. The manager made a change at half-time, but you wonder how long Gareth Taylor will wait before he does make 1 or 2 changes, and indeed will Villa send on Rachel Daly as an impact sub to try and famously win the tie. Laila Wabi, and here's Fowler. Direct run, shown wide there by Maley. Oh, just a suspicion of a little nudge back there. It was Ebony Salmon who got something on the Manchester City player. Not enough, though, for the referee to give a decision, but it was a bit of a risk. Alexandri. There's the armband with Alex Greenwood still injured. Fowler around the corner. Again, Aston Villa broke up the move through Anna Patton. Manchester City have Jess Park on the ball. Better defending against it this time by Thomas, but she's still got the cross in. And once again, the keeper unopposed.
I think it's hard again, though. You see Park when she initially tries to put the ball into the box. You've only got Shaw in there. And it's really difficult with the amount of bodies that Aston Villa have got back defending.
She's still hurt from that intervention moments ago, Sarah Maley. If they continue to let Jess Park get her crosses in, they will be made to pay ultimately, you would think. No challenge on the goalkeeper. Would you not expect Bunny Shaw to have been in there?
Yeah, you'd be hoping that there's at least another player central to really make it a bit more difficult. But I think also City, if you are putting those crosses in, you need to gamble and commit a few more players going forward too.
You've just tweaked ankle ligaments moments ago. Sarah Maley, who went across the City divide from Birmingham to Aston Villa, from Birmingham City to Aston Villa back in 2021. Five minutes gone in the second half. A little bit of stoppage time building up here. One solitary away win this season for them came at Charlton. Some enjoying the sunshine, and others in the shade will be cold, let me tell you, in this ground. Approaching 100 games for the club. She started at Villa, went to Birmingham, back to Villa. That's a spring-looking crowd, isn't it? Short-sleeve shirts, and on this side it's It's still winter. So D'Angelo gets us going again. Probably not what she wanted after a period of treatment, the fullback. Katie Robinson didn't get going there, and she hasn't really got going in the game, has she?
No, she hasn't really been able to get on the ball much and do what we know that Robinson is really good at, which is running at defences, you know, and causing problems, but she's not been able to get the service today.
Comes from my part of the world, down in Cornwall. Katie Robinson came to Villa via Brighton Hove Albion. Now here's Fowler. Shaw's ahead of her, sprinting into the gap. Bunny Shaw almost inevitably breaks the deadlock. 7 minutes into the second half, Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 0. And all the frustration is washed away. She doesn't look particularly fully fit to me. And that's goal 19 of the season for her, and the second for her in this FA Cup run. City are ahead.
And I think that's brilliant from Shaw as well, because we've seen her do it a couple of times this afternoon where she's just playing on the back shoulders of the defenders, you know, in between Lucy Park and Anna Patton there, but she just makes that run in behind. It's a beautiful pass as well by Mary Fowler. Time to perfection. I didn't know if maybe taking that touch and with D'Angelo closing the gap, would it have been too tight for her? But you can just see here the composure, the touch through the legs of D'Angelo as well into the back of the net. But like you said, I think it just does ease that frustration as well for City.
Well, even if she's 3/4 fit, 75% fit, she's 100% dangerous to any defender. Back in the starting lineup as they manage her minutes. One of the modern game's great scorers. And what is Aston Villa's plan B? Still look to counter through the pace of Ebony Salmon. Will they get more numbers forward? I mean, they've got out here Katie Robinson on the far side. They've got Salmon, Gabby Nunes. Players over there who can do it. Chastity Grant. Disdainful look there from Mida Marwood. Marie Taylor just bumped her from behind. Had the front to bump her. Manchester City look for Fowler. Wabby followed it up. Little duck there by Miedemar and gets it back. Now here's Fowler from Cairns in Australia. Untidy pass into the feet of Bunny Shaw. From the former Illawarra Stingrays player, Mary Fowler. Blocked by Alexandri. And Hasegawa just took a touch and then opened her stride pattern, went away. And here now is Jess Park. Final ball was really, really careless. Hasegawa at the start of that was imperious, fantastic. Lovely 1-2, Kasparov into the middle.
I think you just see as well there with Shaw, you know, I think obviously we know that she's not fully fit, just seems to be struggling to get back into the box there, so Miedemar takes hold of it. You see her bursting past Shaw, but the pass gets cut out. Obviously then City again trying to recycle it. For me, I just don't think Aston Villa have been good at closing down any of the crosses today, but again, you're seeing Shaw bending over there. Normally she'd be across the front of those defenders attacking the near post.
Bit of a chase on there for Gabby Nunes. Persistent enough, but rudimentary the effort at the cross shot into the middle. And then Taylor plays back to Sarah Mailing. 10 minutes into the second half, trailing 1-0, but they're not out of this, not by a long shot. They need to be more adventurous now, though, as Bunny Shaw got that block in. Doesn't look fully fit to me.
No, she doesn't. And I think it's, you know, you see in the runs that she would normally make, even being able to bust the gut to get in for the second phase. She isn't able to do that. See Nunes there, holding the ball up well, strong. But again, you know, Aston Villa now, are they going to look to potentially come out of it and try and create more chances?
Well, Gabby Nunes is a proven international player. She's got 8 goals for Brazil. Won the South America under-20 title for them. She was left out of the squad for 4 years. Silver medalist in the Olympics last summer. Got pedigree. And they have pedigree on the bench, we know that. We've been talking about it all day long. It was her decision to leave Rachel Daly out. Jordan Nobbs could come in and give them some oomph in midfield. That's a word you won't find in the coaching manuals, Chile.
Oomph.
Oomph. Tomas with the throw. Mismatched the two Manchester City centre-backs, Patton, Parker, Pryor and Alexandria, apart from that one moment. Here's Shaw again. Jess Park and Jill Rord. Park, 3 to hit in the middle. Miedemar leaps through it, comes out then to Mary Fowler. Naila Huabi, that's it, Mary Fowler. Miedemar couldn't get away. Dug out by the captain Beitings, but City straight back to Aston Villa. Fowler, Huabi, space to get across in again. Headed up and away by Paola Tomas. Nunes trying to hold it up, swap passes across on that far side. Tomas, but Manchester City regained possession. Here's Rord. They've got so many potential match winners, Manchester City. One of them has put them ahead. And from this platform, they should go on and win the tie comfortably. Aston Villa commendably have made it very difficult for them. Here's Fowler. 62 times capped by Australia. Dad's Irish. Mum comes from Papua New Guinea. What a dangerous cross, tempting the goalkeeper to come out. She did well, D'Angelo, to punch it that far clear. Simon did well initially. He's tried to find Gabby Nunes, who's ended up on the turf there. Park. Referee playing on. Miedemar was bumped, but she made a meal of it, I think. Back to Rord. That's disappointing, that really. Gave her teammate Kasper far too much to do. Alexandri, captain of Manchester City. They've had a fair few decent ones. Steph Houghton led the way, of course, in recent years, still involved with the club. Park showed too much of it. Then Paola Tomas, and Rachel Daly's going to come on. They need to threaten more, Villa. They can't afford to concede a second. Here's Kerstin Kasperaj. Luabi. And Fowler. A really good second half. Again to the byline, looking for Shaw. She's missed it. Oh, goodness, it was nearly an own goal. Off Jill Beitings.
Fowler does really well there on the left-hand side. You know, Mayling's dropped off of her, but just has that change of pace there where it's just able to skip past Mayling She puts the ball in, you think Shaw's going to connect on it. It goes past her, and then Beijing's there. It's one of those ones where it comes off of you, and you haven't got a clue where it's going, and I think she'll just be thankful that it skipped past the post and didn't go into her own net.
It was flying, wasn't it, from Jill Bejic? Manchester City corner. High into the mix, looking for Shaw's clever header back across. Needed to be cleared and was. Knew exactly what she was trying to do, Bunny Shaw.
I think as well, as you see, Shaw put the header across. Roard is just sitting there at the back post as well, but Aston Villa defender doing really well to connect with it and clear it.
Really tell it was who got it away. Well, off comes a disappointed Katie Robinson to allow Rachel Daly to come on. Can play out there where Robinson was playing in the wide position. Well, Rachel Daly, for England alone, has played centre forward, left side forward, right side forward, left midfield, right midfield, left back, right back. Not bad. And a free kick immediately against her.
I think you're just seeing there I think what she's just tried to do is get her body in between the ball and Park, but doesn't time it well, and first introduction she gives away a free kick.
She scored 2 against Bristol Rovers, netted again against Brighton early on in the competition. Another out there on the field of play with more than 100 career goals. Needs one to save Aston Villa's place in the FA Cup. Fowler stands over the ball. So she'll hit this right-footed. Shaw around the back post to challenge the goalkeeper, who did well. She's had a good game, hasn't she?
She's had a very good game. I think she's been very brave and commanding when coming for catches. But no, she had a really good game.
Well, I hope she isn't injured here. Just stayed down a little bit. Shaw peeling away. Look, no one went with her. It's okay. It's a check from the coach, laid out there then by Beijing's. Haven't helped themselves at times. Roard. Park. Kasparov back to Park, good movement from her. Pulls the cross back. Not yet cleared away. Fowler deserves a goal. It's a fine block. Once again, it was Mary Taylor, I think, who got the block. She made several of those in the game. Park. Jill Roard. Might have had a free kick not given initially, but then it was. She had a second nibble at her, the Aston Villa captain.
Yeah, I think Jill Roard there's got really close control. Obviously, I think he would have been there, and I don't know if he then looked to play the advantage, and obviously there wasn't one. But again, it's another opportunity for City to put the ball into the box.
European champion with Wolfsburg and with their country, of course, when they hosted the Euros. Fowler once again with the free kick. I certainly think she's having her best season as a Manchester City player. But she dropped that one in disappointingly low, the player who joined City in the summer of 2022 from Montpellier. Playing from the deep. They aren't out of this cup tie yet, but second Manchester City goal I think would do for them. Difficult for
A club like Aston Villa, women's team, yes, founded in 1973, but as Solihull FC, they became the official Aston Villa women's side as Villa Aztecs in 1996 to compete with the top sides because of an investment situation. They're not the only WSL club that needs more investment. They have improved in terms of possession as the game has gone on. Look, they're now up to 33%. Manchester City is still dominating. Here's Jill Rourke. Alexandria up from the back, and Laila Ouahabi. Fowler, good combination those two all game long down the left. Fowler inside onto that right foot, glanced out by Paula Tomas. Gaspari keeps it in, no pressure on her at all. In a wide position, allowed to turn, bring the ball under control.
I think that's been Aston Villa's problem. I think in this game, you know, I think it's all well and good being in a deep block, but when it does get into the wide areas, you have to get some pressure out there and don't allow City to dictate and just able to put the ball into the box easily.
I'm sure as a defender you were told as well, player is vulnerable on the half turn to a tackle.
100%, and I think it's just all about timing, but it's about being brave, and you knew as soon as the ball come into a certain area, that was your chance then to get on the front foot, to get and defend it.
By Hasegawa. An inaccurate pass from her, that's a rarity. Always the underdogs, midway through the second half. They trail 1-0. Fowler. And a major contribution as the game has gone on. Might have been clipped there, went down to 1 knee. The referee saying, look, you can go on, you have the advantage. Gaspari. Park is there. Needs a big few months, Jess Park, to keep her place in the England squad, played in the recent games. Gaspari lost possession. He can't get out of their defensive third. Here's Shaw. Miedemar. Slipped away from her, but then had the strength to win it back. Hasegawa. What a super player. Miedemar. Ouahabi, Manchester City pressing for a second. That's ill-advised. The initial attempt to clear it away by Chastity Grant. They got away with that a little bit.
Yeah, I think for me there, Aston Villa just need to put your foot through it, you know, clear your lines. Man City obviously picking it up, but there's so many bodies in and around that box. It's so hard for them to pick out players.
Tomas. And here's the captain, Jill Beijings. At the moment with Salmon off the left-hand side. Nunes, Daly's up there with her. And Grant at times making a front four when they do come forward. There's Chastity Grant wearing 23. Just over 20 minutes to go. You normally say in a cup tie, last 8, they need a second goal to make sure, but are Villa showing you enough, Gilly, to suggest they can come back into this from 1 down?
I think it's hard. I think even with the introduction of Rachel Daly, they haven't been able to find her at all, and you know they'll be hoping that a chance falls to her so she can produce something, but I think it's really hard to get out of the habit when you've defended deep all game to then switch it up and try and mix it up and try and push for a goal.
I'm saying in football that footballers cannot turn it on and off like a tap. You get into one pace in a game, it's difficult to shrug off that pace and step it up.
It is hard, and I think as well, you know, that Aston Villa will know then if they go and try to gamble that it's going to open them up to potentially more chances for Man City.
Oh, Marek is about to come on, but Manchester City could get a second here, and they do. Jess Park with the finish set up by Miedemar. And that could be the goal that sends them into the last 4 of the FA Cup.
Obviously, we were just speaking about it then, whether Aston Villa will change things up, but again, just switching off defensively there. And I think it's a huge goal for them, because I just think it relieves a little bit of pressure as well in regards to City. But Taylor turning the ball over, see mainly with the throwing into Taylor, turns it over, Myanmar picks up Park and then drills it. But here it's just sloppy really from an Aston Villa point of view. Myanmar's got Shaw to her left, Park to her right. It's a great finish from Park though to make it 2-0.
And what shouldn't you do with a defensive throw in halfway inside your own half?
Not give it away like that.
Throw it infield like that and you're always going to be open to a turnover. Neat enough finish, drilled beyond Sabrina D'Angelo for Jess Park's 7th of the season and first in this FA Cup run. And Villa were just about to make a substitution. Noel Merritt's was about to come on for them. Defensive player. Mealing had been struggling. It's going to be a corner though. Ebony Salmon foraging. You can see Maritz has come on into that position vacated, I think, by Mailing. Can they get one back here now? Would make a game of it. Taken short. Grant. Beijing's the captain on the far post area. Looking for Lucy Parker, was up there. Hansen has come on for Aston Villa for Nunes as well. Two goals for Manchester City, rat-a-tat-tat. Shaw after 53 minutes, Jess Park after 72. And a very difficult tie has turned into mission improbable now for the visitors. I bet there were a few groans when they drew Manchester City. It could have been worse, and it could have been Chelsea. And who will come out on top of that marathon 4-game slog between City and Chelsea over the coming weeks? Intriguing, that.
It will be, and I think it's so difficult even when you have to play a team twice in the space of a week, 10 days. So, you know, to be playing each other so many times in such a short period, it is difficult, but it's one that I think both teams will be prepared for the battle.
Salmon. Fowler doing defensive duty as well. She's been super, isn't she, as the game's gone on, Mary Fowler?
I think she's been absolutely brilliant for City. You know, she's created so much. She hasn't stopped running, and a lot of the chance that they created throughout this game has come from Fowler.
Patton. She's worked it through somehow. And they get the crossing here from the sub Maritz and in towards Rachel Daly. It's the first time we've seen her since she came on. She has 10 goals this season. She's kept up her ever-present record coming off the bench for this difficult chance. I had to snatch at it.
Yeah, obviously Maritz in the wide area there. Rachel Daly, she's pulling away from the defender, but I think she's just pretty much swinging at it. Isn't really able to connect with it at all. But Aston Villa haven't got her on the ball enough since she's come on.
Daly closes down on Pryor. And Manchester City closing in on a last 4 place. Won it in 2019, 2020. They'd already won it in 2017. Runners up in 2022. Last 8 in 2024 when they went out on penalties to Tottenham. Here's Hasegawa. Line of 4 advance for Manchester City, dragging Villa back defensively. Wabi gets forward so willingly on that left-hand side. And Fowler. Alexandri covers on the left-hand side. They're very strong on this near side. Manchester City as they look here then for Miedemar, cross goal, Park came in, Bunny Shaw, that's a brilliant challenge, Park, that's a super save. City close to a third.
It's a great challenge initially on Shaw, and then Park's able to follow up. Again, Miedemar stretching behind the back line here. I mean, it's a great tackle by Beijing's, and then Park with a follow-up, big save from D'Angelo. So many bodies in and around it though, but here obviously you see Park pull up and D'Angelo, big stop, pushing it round the post.
Because that was hit with some venom. Good stop from the player from Welland in Ontario, signed from the Arsenal. What, a year ago now, a little bit more. He's far into the box, the goalkeeper goes down again. Bit of disguise on the shot, but she was equal to it.
I also think that's pretty poor from Aston Villa, really, to only have one player out there when it's a 2v1. He's just allowing Mary Fowler to get the second ball.
Trying to get back into the tie. One goal could get them back into the tie. A driven cross brings a low save out of Yamashita. Might have been going wide anyway, she made sure it didn't. Someone from the wide position. And then here comes the cross shot now from Kirsty Hansen. Got decent players in the squad. Kirsty Hansen, Scottish international, current Scottish international from Manchester United player, came up from the second tier. But where do Aston Villa now go as a football club?
I think first and foremost, you know, obviously it's about settling themselves in the league and pushing on. I know it's always hard when there's a managerial change midway through the season. It's so disrupting, and obviously the manager's going to want to have a certain way to play. So I think for them it's about securing your safety, and then hopefully then for them having a good off-season when it comes to recruitment.
Come up in 2019-20 to the top level of English football. Under pressure here now. Miedemar was foraging. Nearly got a breakthrough. Maritz was dawdling a little bit on the edge of the penalty area. Shaw got the breakthrough. And with a typical Bunny Shaw run and finish. But they will protect her minutes. Not make the goalkeeper. One to remember.
I think it's a beautiful run from Bunny Shaw, and I think she's done it a couple of times in the first half as well. And I think for them, they was managing her minutes, but I also think they wanted to secure getting the second goal before bringing her off.
Great reception for her. And on in her place comes Carolyn, Brazilian international. She's featured recently, Carolyn. There's some speculation she might start today. Roared. Another good block challenge. Got a couple of those in powerfully, haven't they, in the last couple of minutes. Job done. No point risking her with 10 minutes to go, 2-0 up in this tie with those games against Chelsea around the corner.
Yeah, no, especially not with a cup final waiting for City as well next weekend. You know, it's a big chance for them to get silverware again for the club this season.
Two more Aston Villa substitutions coming up.
Substitution for Aston Villa, leaving the pitch, number 22, Jill Hines.
Off goes Beijing, she's put in a shift as a captain. Missy Kearns coming on, Jordan Nobbs as well.
Left Arsenal after so many years to get regular first-team football. She comes on for Mary Taylor at the heart of the midfield. Over 300 games, would have been a lot more. She had been blighted by horrible injuries, missed the World Cup in 2019, missed the Olympics in 2020, missed the Euros. And the success on home soil all through injury. The Aston Villa subs are done. Eight minutes to go. Away by Ayaka Yamashita. We need a couple of saves to make. Lovely turn by Hasegawa. One back for Manchester City by Huabi, back in the starting lineup, came off the bench the other day. She had a good game once again.
Yeah, she had a solid game. And I think it's important as well for City to get these players back, to get them fit, and to give them a bit more consistency across the back line. I know obviously they're missing Alex Greenwood, who's a huge player for them, but to be able to bring a player like Wahabi back as well and just to settle it is key for them today.
Miedemar. And it goes then by Gracie Pryor. Certainly don't think Gareth Taylor will be purring with delight at going through. Will be happy, of course, to reach the last four as they make a couple more substitutions now. Off goes Viviana Miedemar. What have you made of her performance today?
I think she's been so important for City. Obviously a little bit frustrated at times with the shots from distance and probably not being able to create as much as what she would have liked, but such an important player for City, and being able to have that movement and allow players the freedom to rotate too.
Blinkilda comes on, the other player to go off will be Gracie Pryor. Blinkilda is a wide player, really. And Naomi Lazel is Manchester City's other substitute. Centre back comes on then for Gracie Pryor. Normally plays off the left-hand side, though. She can play left back. It's a chance here now for Aston Villa. And Ebony Salmon has kept running as the game has gone on.
That opened up really nicely there for Salmon as well. Just come central with it. She picks the ball up. Hasegawa's not able to get anywhere near her. She sort of just shrugs her off. Gets the strike. I mean, it looks a little bit closer than what it was, I think. But again, it's still dangerous for Aston Villa. You know, if they can nick a goal within the next few minutes, they'll have real belief they can go and get an equaliser.
Certainly think she can hold her head up, Ebony Salmon. What's the first half save out of Yamashita when she went for power instead of precision? Andri's done well there, and a good release out. Another opportunity for Manchester City. Park with a cross in, steered away by Parker.
I think your point was right there, Alexandra. She's done really well there, because I think the goalkeeper stitched her up a little bit, but I was able to get down the left-hand side with Caroline, who's then able to switch it out to Park on the right-hand side. Really good turn there to get away from Hansen, but Lucy Park in a really good position at the near post, just cut it out from falling to Fowler's feet.
Good position, good body shape for Lucy Parker to get the clearance away. Murphy with the corner kick. Goalkeeper that time missed it. First mistake she's made, really. Gathers it at the second time of asking. She was under pressure.
I think Lazel as well was just at the back post. Got a connection on it, but not good enough, but was close to sneaking in.
Carolyn. Wabi. Fowler's gone into the middle with Carolyn out on the left-hand side. Shaw having gone off. Casper momentarily on the left-hand side, trots back to a right full-back burst. She'll get there any time now. Out by Naomi Lizelle. Here's Fowler. Just a little bit tired perhaps there with 3 minutes to go. She's put in a real hard day at the office today. As a go around the corner, we'll get a chance to get there again and use the ball. Always moving, isn't she?
Always moving, she doesn't stop, and I think as soon as she passes the ball, she's always looking about how can I get back on it again. She's a delight to play with.
Carolyn. Carolyn's a remarkable story. She was in hospital when she was 12. She had a couple of medical issues and I didn't think she'd ever play serious sport. This is a player who's played in major international tournaments. And she's in the box there to the left of your picture, waiting for anything to come in. Fowler. Put to her by Raw. Showed too much of it, really. Carolyn had to stretch, comes inside, and was offside.
Thought she'd done really well there, even though she was offside, to control the ball that come out to her because it was hit at pace. It's just unfortunate for her that she just crept offside. Yeah, I mean, obviously you've just seen it there. She's clearly off, which does really well to control it initially.
Yeah, so the keeper missed it, but she had defenders behind her. Under 2 minutes to go. Another change here for Manchester City. Veen Reuter coming on, the player they signed from Arsenal. Right full-back. Replaces a right full-back. Only the one appearance for Veen Reuter in the league. It was in that disappointing game against West Ham. She had 15 minutes in the cup against Leicester. She was really on the outside looking in, wasn't she, at Arsenal?
Yeah, I think she obviously had a serious injury as well and just missed a lot of football whilst at Arsenal.
We're in Aston Villa corner. We're into the last minute of the 90. She's covered a lot of ground again. Others take the headlines, but Yumi Hasegawa is the glue that sticks teams together. Can Villa get one back here, make a tie of it? Patton was in there. Goalkeeper Kane didn't get much on it, needed help. There's not a lot to do.
It wasn't really a convincing punch there, though. Sort of just allowed the ball to drop.
There's the cross by Ebony Salmon, who's still working hard. That's a hefty fall there for Rachel Daly. Hugely popular player in the women's game, Rachel Daly, bubbly character. Cross flashed through, too high really for her.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great opportunity, but I don't know whether Salmon necessarily saw her at the back post. I didn't know if it was just more of a chance just to hit and hope, obviously, but Rachel Day there stretching and wasn't able to make the most of it.
Nearly a minute of those 5 minutes of added time gone. Tidied up in the back for Manchester City. Lizelle went across to cover and get the ball away. That's come off Paula Tomas.
Bit of inking going on there, though. Well, they've come to watch the Villa. Steered out by Blinkilda. Oh, that's bounced awkwardly. Untidy that, the control by Carolyn. Anna Patton launches it, Daly's in the middle. Beyond here now, can Kirsty Hansen get a cross back into the middle? Well, she's forced a corner.
It's just an opportunity for Aston Villa. There's not a lot of time left, but getting the ball into City's box, if you can nick a goal now, anything can happen in the last couple of minutes.
She's talked about her team getting a platform from which they can believe they belong in the WSL. As the cross comes in, pressure easily relieved. Paula Thomas and Nobbs, and Lucy Parker had stayed forward and holds on to it against Uabi, who's defended astutely, former champion of Europe with Barcelona. Nobbs will look for the return. One thing you can guarantee with Jordan Nobbs, 2-0 down, could be 4-0 down in stoppage time, she won't give up.
No, 100%. She won't keep trying to get a goal and to get the team back into it, but probably just a little bit too late now.
Jordan Nobbs' dad was a very competitive player. Keith played at Hartlepool. Strapping, I think, would be a description for Keith. Headed up by Anna Patton. Launched along by Noel Maritz. So her next job is trying to conjure a performance away at Crystal Palace. If they lose, they'll be a point above the bottom of the table club. If they win, I think that will virtually guarantee them safety. As Palace would need to win 2 matches to get back at them. I can't see them doing that. This is a lovely run by Salmon. The pullback though, well, you can see she was aiming for Nobbs. It didn't hit the mark, and it's cleared away.
Also got a question as well there. If Salmon goes down, would it potentially been a penalty too? Because it was a bit of a dive in on her there from Fowler, just there. But City do well to get bodies in and around it.
Nobbs and Missy Beaucairns were waiting in the middle. Last seconds of this quarter-final tie. Park. Missy Beaucairns. Now Hansen. Salmon is through the middle. Park can't get back at her initially, and then she dug in deep and drew the foul. That's a good run between the two of them, that.
And Park also had to get back and defend there because she gave the ball away sloppily as well, and then you can just see the recovery run there. She was certainly not giving up. Doing really well to get back and try and recover the ball.
And Gareth Taylor is nearly into the last 4 of the FA Cup. Been under pressure, Gareth Taylor, over the last 18 months or so. Coming through it. Manchester City are through to the last 4 of the Women's FA Cup, with a comfortable victory in the end against Aston Villa, who held them at bay until Bunny Shaw's goal on 53 minutes. And Jess Park rounded it off with 18 minutes to go. Deserved victory, fully deserved, really.
Yeah, fully deserved. I think it was made hard for them by Aston Villa initially in the first half because they sat in that low block, but I think with Man City they had the patience to break them down and made the most of their opportunities when they come.
Good victory for Manchester City. They're through from this quarter-final by 2-0. tighter FA Cup quarter-final than many people would have expected, and watched it in the company of Gilly Flaherty, 10 times an FA Cup finalist, and we thought that was in from Money Shaw.
We did. I thought she was going to spin away and celebrate there, but great running behind from Shaw. Nice little turn, but wasn't able to put it in the back of the net.
Villa with their low block really frustrating Manchester City in that first half. We expected City therefore to shoot from range, and they started to.
And it only would have been one player as well with Miedema, you know, getting the frustrated a little bit, trying to mix it up by having the shots from distance.
And she had another go not long after, turning in onto that right foot, and it zipped along.
I think she was also a little bit closer on that attempt as well. Spins Malin. Obviously one thing on her mind, that's to have a strike.
But this was the best chance of the first half for either side. And Ebony Salmon went for power instead of placing it either side of the keeper.
And it could have been huge for Aston Villa to go in at half-time, 1-0 up. But again, it is the best chance of the first half. Just straight at the goalkeeper.
Big strong hand though by Yamashita, who did well. And then it took until 8 minutes into the second half for the deadlock to be broken. Typical Bunny Shaw goal.
Yeah, it's a similar run to what we saw in the first half from Bunny Shaw, just peeing off the back of the defenders. You know, having a little look over her shoulder as it comes through. She takes the touch. Obviously, you're just able to see it here. She's just got one thing on her mind. Stretched the back line. It's a beautiful ball from Fowler. Onside. Takes that nice little cushion touch and just passes it into the back of the net.
2 FA Cup goals in 2 FA Cup ties this season. The remarkable goal scoring machine that is Khadija Bunny Shaw. And from then it looked a long, long way back for Aston Villa, who were cut open by the pass. Mary Fowler had an excellent game, got stronger and stronger as the game went on. Cross looks for Shaw, could have gone in off Beijing's.
And that's one of those ones where, as a defender, especially, it happened to me many a time, where you're just grateful to see it flash past the post and not end up in your own net.
But they gave it away sloppily from a throw-in across the face of their defence. Manchester City pounced and Park scored the second and decisive one.
I think it just killed the game off there for Aston Villa. Sloppy from there on their own turnover from a throw-in. Miedema was Shaw to her left, Park to her right, goes with Park. Touch and finish into the bottom corner. It's a great strike, and I think it's the power that's behind the strike which makes it hard for D'Angelo.
Deservedly 2-0 to the good at that stage. They're by far more of the ball than Villa, who continued to defend deep even at 2-0 down. Miedema does well here. Sure, great block by Beijing's, and the follow-up by Park. That's a really strong save by Sabrina D'Angelo.
Yeah, it's a brilliant block by Beijing's initially on Shaw there, but then Park just peels off. It's a huge save from Angelo.
But Ebony Salmon kept running, deserved something, didn't get it as Villa went out.
Yeah, I think it's the final shot, wasn't it, really, for Villa? Their final test, wasn't able to put it away.
But she can hold her head high as Villa go out Manchester City through. Julie, what do the stats show us?
I mean, it's pretty much simple from the game in regards to looking at that possession. Obviously, it was a lot higher initially in the first half, but, you know, Man City dominated that game, you know, and they was the ones to put away their chances.
I tell you, Orayo will be disappointed about one thing. They had 4 corners. A set piece was always going to be a route for them back into the game, but it didn't come.
Yeah, they didn't make the most of it at all. They wasted the chance that they got to put the ball into City's box.
So Manchester City through to the last 4 to join their local rivals Manchester United, who beat Sunderland yesterday 3-1. Leah Galton, Maya Letizia and Ella Toon for United. Louise Griffiths have pulled one back for Sunderland after 70 to make it 2-1 at that stage. Coming up later on, Arsenal against Liverpool. Arsenal favourites, but it's not a given. Chelsea against bottom of the WSL, Crystal Palace. That would be a huge surprise if Palace pull off a victory there. The Manchester City really cruised through into the last 4. Bright sunshine at the Joy Stadium. I hope you've enjoyed it. Gilly and I always do. From the two of us and the rest of the crew, a very good afternoon to you.